Subaru just shocked the auto industry. Their CEO revealed something no one expected. A brand new pickup truck with a starting price of just $18,000. Yes, you heard that right. At a time when trucks from Ford, Toyota, and GM are pushing $40,000 to $60,000 as the so-called entry price, Subaru decided to completely flip the script. This move isn't just bold. It's a direct challenge to the entire U.S. truck market. Think about it. Subaru has always been the underdog in the pickup space. Their last attempt, the Baja, became a cult classic but never hit mainstream success. Now, decades later, they're coming back with a truck designed to do one thing: disrupt. At $18,000, it instantly undercuts not only traditional full-size trucks, but even compact options like the Ford Maverick and Hyundai Santa Cruz. And here's the kicker. Subaru isn't marketing this as a stripped-down, bare-bones machine. They're leaning on what made them famous: practicality, rugged reliability, and all-wheel drive capability. The announcement caught rivals completely off guard. Industry insiders say Ford didn't expect this price war, Toyota didn't expect Subaru to enter the truck arena so aggressively, and GM is reportedly scrambling to reassess its strategy for the Colorado and Canyon. Even Tesla, which has been hyping its Cybertruck for years, suddenly looks overpriced when a capable Subaru pickup can be had for less than half the cost. Subaru's CEO explained the logic clearly. The company knows Americans love trucks, but not everyone can, or wants to, spend $50,000 or more just to get one. By targeting affordability, Subaru is betting big on younger buyers, outdoor enthusiasts, and even urban drivers who need utility without the bulk. And here's where it gets interesting. Reports suggest the truck will be built on a modified version of Subaru's global platform, the same one used for the Outback and Forester. That means it's going to feel familiar, car-like in comfort, but with the practicality of a pickup bed. Now, here's the part that's making headlines. The truck won't just be cheap, it's expected to include Subaru's signature symmetrical all-wheel drive as standard. That's a game changer. Where competitors like Ford's Maverick make you pay more for AWD, Subaru is giving it to buyers up front. This signals they're not just competing on price, but also doubling down on capability. Imagine an $18,000 pickup that can handle snow, dirt roads, and camping trails right out of the box. And this is exactly why the competition is worried. Because Subaru just did what every truck buyer has been asking for. Give us something simple, reliable, and affordable, without sacrificing usability. Early leaks suggest the new Subaru pickup won't be some oversized, gas-guzzling beast. Instead, it's likely to carry either Subaru's tried-and-true 2.5-liter flat-4 engine or a hybrid setup that blends efficiency with everyday usability. That's critical because fuel prices are once again a concern, and most people don't want a truck that drains their wallet every time they hit the pump. Subaru understands this better than most brands. After all, their entire lineup has been about balance. Cars that perform well in the city, hold their own in the mountains, and last for decades without major issues. But don't mistake this for a soft truck. The company has made it clear, it's aiming for real-world durability. Insiders mention towing capacity in the 3,500-pound range, which means pulling small boats, dirt bikes, or trailers won't be an issue. Payload is also rumored to be competitive with the Maverick, giving buyers enough practicality for weekend projects or outdoor adventures. Combine that with standard AWD, and suddenly you've got a budget-friendly pickup that feels more like a lifestyle companion than a stripped-down work truck. On the design side, Subaru fans will immediately notice the familiar DNA. Expect a rugged front fascia inspired by the Outback wilderness, a squared-off bed that maximizes space, and roof rails for extra gear. The truck is said to slot into the compact category, making it city-friendly while still offering enough presence to stand tall against competitors. Subaru knows their buyers, people who camp, ski, surf, and explore. And this truck seems built to carry bikes in the back, kayaks on the roof, and muddy boots in the cabin without missing a beat. Inside, Subaru isn't cutting corners either. While it won't be dripping with luxury, buyers can expect a clean, functional cabin with durable cloth upholstery, waterproof floor mats, and Subaru's EyeSight safety suite included even on base trims. That's another massive win. Advanced driver assistance features on an $18,000 truck? That's something the competition can't touch. Higher trims could add heated seats, a larger infotainment screen, and maybe even some wilderness-style upgrades for those who want a tougher edge. And here's where things get really interesting. Dealers are already buzzing about demand. Truck prices have skyrocketed over the past decade, and many buyers have been priced out entirely. A truck that reopens the market at less than half the price of a Silverado or F-150 is guaranteed to attract massive attention. Industry analysts warn that this could trigger a full-blown price war in the compact truck segment, something the big three U.S. automakers desperately wanted to avoid. If Subaru manages to scale production and avoid supply chain headaches, this pickup could reshape the industry in ways nobody expected. Think about the ripple effect. Ford might be forced to cut Maverick pricing, Toyota could accelerate plans for its rumored compact truck, and even GM might scramble to downsize its offerings. And then there's the elephant in the room: electric pickups. Companies like Rivian, Tesla, and even Ford's Lightning suddenly look overpriced and out of touch compared to a practical $18,000 Subaru truck built for everyday Americans. This move isn't just about launching a cheap truck, it's about Subaru staking its claim in the future of the U.S. market. For years, Subaru has been a niche brand. Loved by outdoor enthusiasts, respected for safety, and trusted for reliability, but always hovering in the background compared to giants like Toyota, Ford, and GM. With this truck, Subaru isn't just dipping its toes into the pickup market, it's sending a warning shot to the entire industry. Affordability still matters, and Subaru is willing to lead that charge. Behind closed doors, competitors are nervous because this undercuts their entire business model. Trucks are the profit engines for Ford, GM, and Ram. In fact, the average profit margin on a full-size truck can be $15,000 or more per unit. That's why prices have kept climbing, and why automakers push luxury trims like Platinum, Denali, and King Ranch. Subaru's $18,000 offering blows that logic apart. It tells buyers, you don't need to spend $60,000 to get a truck that actually works. And if enough buyers shift toward this philosophy, the big automakers stand to lose billions. Analysts are already drawing comparisons to when Toyota first introduced the small, affordable Hilux decades ago, a truck that became legendary worldwide and proved that practicality beats flash. Subaru seems to be taking a page right out of that playbook, but with a modern twist: safety tech, AWD, and hybrid efficiency baked in from the start. It's a clever strategy because it appeals not only to budget-conscious families but also to younger buyers priced out of the market. Imagine being in your 20s, just starting out, and actually being able to afford a brand new truck again. That's the kind of buyer Subaru is going after. What's also fueling the panic is Subaru's reputation. They're not some startup that could vanish overnight. They've built trust with loyal owners who often keep their cars for 10 to 15 years. If those same owners suddenly have the chance to buy a pickup that fits right into the Subaru lifestyle, you can bet dealerships will be flooded. Add to that Subaru's cult-like following in places like Colorado, the Pacific Northwest, and the Northeast, and you have the recipe for an instant hit. And here's something worth noting. The CEO hinted that this truck could even pave the way for an all-electric version down the line. If that happens, Subaru would be positioning itself as a brand that offers both the most affordable gas-powered truck and one of the most practical EV pickups, giving them leverage in both worlds. Competitors like Tesla and Rivian should take note, because while they fight over tech-heavy luxury EVs, Subaru is targeting the everyday driver who just wants value and utility. Dealers are already calling this announcement a potential game-changer. In fact, some insiders say pre-orders could open sooner than expected, and if that happens, Subaru showrooms might see the kind of demand surge usually reserved for blockbuster models like the Ford Bronco or Tesla Model 3. The difference here is that Subaru isn't chasing hype with futuristic gimmicks. It's delivering a back-to-basics truck that speaks to the largest audience possible: people who want affordability and practicality without compromise. Customers are reacting with pure excitement across social media. Forums and enthusiast groups are buzzing with comments like, "Finally, a truck I can actually afford," and "This feels like the truck market reset button we've all been waiting for." It's not just Subaru fans, either. Even die-hard Ford and Chevy truck owners are paying attention, because in an era where new car payments average over $700 a month, the idea of driving off the lot in a brand new pickup for under $20,000 sounds almost too good to be true. And that perception alone is sparking massive interest. Wall Street, on the other hand, is approaching this with cautious curiosity. Some analysts see it as a bold, brilliant move that could dramatically boost Subaru's U.S. market share. Others are worried about profit margins. Can Subaru really make money selling a pickup this cheap, especially when competitors rely on high-margin trucks to stay afloat? But here's the thing: Subaru doesn't need to outsell Ford or Chevy. All it needs to do is carve out a solid slice of the compact truck segment, and suddenly it becomes the disruptor that forces the giants to rethink their pricing strategies. What adds fuel to this fire is timing. Consumers are already frustrated with record-high auto prices, interest rates on car loans, and the push toward expensive EVs. Many buyers feel squeezed out of the market entirely. Subaru's $18,000 pickup feels almost rebellious, a product designed to push back against the corporate trend of inflating truck prices. It signals that at least one automaker is still listening to the average consumer. And that kind of goodwill is priceless. But make no mistake, this is also a high-stakes gamble. If Subaru nails the execution, reliable engines, decent towing, smart interior design, this truck could become an instant legend. If it falls short on durability or practicality, the competition will pounce, and buyers might see it as just another marketing stunt. That's why industry insiders say Subaru has to get this right from day one. The risks are enormous, and Subaru knows it. If demand for this $18,000 pickup explodes, and all signs suggest it will, the company could face supply chain strain like never before. Subaru isn't Toyota or Ford. They don't have sprawling global factories pumping out millions of vehicles a year. Their production capacity is limited, and that's both an opportunity and a danger. On one hand, scarcity could create hype and make the truck even more desirable. On the other hand, if buyers walk into showrooms and find nothing but long wait lists, frustration could turn excitement into anger overnight. Another major risk is the competition's backlash. You can bet Ford, GM, Toyota, and Stellantis are already running emergency strategy meetings. These companies don't like being undercut, especially not in trucks, their most profitable segment. They may respond with aggressive discounting, surprise trims, or even fast-tracking their own compact truck projects. Imagine Ford slashing thousands off the Maverick, or Toyota rushing its rumored compact pickup into production just to protect its turf. Subaru has basically poked the bear, and now the big boys are wide awake. Then there's the challenge of profitability. Selling a truck at $18,000 sounds amazing for consumers, but margins are razor-thin. Subaru will have to walk a fine line between affordability and financial sustainability. If production costs creep up due to parts shortages or rising labor costs, the company could quickly find itself losing money on every unit sold. That's why analysts are watching closely to see whether Subaru uses clever cost-saving strategies, like sharing components with existing models, simplifying trim levels, or offering a limited set of options to keep the balance sheet in check. And let's not forget reliability expectations. Subaru's reputation is built on cars that go 200,000 miles without major drama. Buyers will expect nothing less from this pickup, and perhaps even more, given the rough use trucks often endure. If early buyers experience mechanical issues, the backlash could be devastating, especially in such a competitive segment where trust is everything. Subaru has to prove this isn't just a budget truck, it's a dependable workhorse that delivers real value over the long haul. But perhaps the biggest risk is brand identity. Subaru has always marketed itself as the quirky, outdoorsy brand, a favorite of hikers, dog owners, and people who choose utility over flash. By entering the truck market, Subaru is stepping into a cutthroat arena dominated by loyalty, tradition, and ego. Will longtime truck buyers actually give Subaru a chance, or will they dismiss it as an outsider brand? That's the question everyone is asking right now. Here's where Subaru might actually turn those risks into strengths. The brand doesn't need to fight head-to-head with Ford F-150s or Chevy Silverados to win, it just needs to carve its own lane. By leaning into its outdoorsy, practical identity, Subaru can position this truck as something different from the rest. Not a macho workhorse built for towing massive trailers, but a lifestyle truck designed for real people who camp on weekends, haul gear, and need a reliable daily driver. That's a market segment that's been largely ignored by the Big Three, who are too focused on upselling luxury trims and oversized models. Think about it. The Ford Maverick found huge success because it wasn't trying to be the biggest or baddest truck, it was simply affordable, useful, and approachable. Subaru is taking that idea and doubling down with a lower price, standard AWD, and a reputation for rugged dependability. In many ways, this truck could become the spiritual successor to the vehicles Americans grew up with in the 80s and 90s, small, affordable pickups that just got the job done. Subaru could also leverage its loyal customer base in a way that competitors can't. Outback and Forester owners already trust the brand to get them up snowy mountains and across muddy trails. Now, imagine Subaru marketing this truck as the perfect companion for those same adventures, but with a bed for mountain bikes, surfboards, or camping gear. Instead of trying to steal Ford or Chevy's core buyers, Subaru can grow the market by pulling in people who might not have even considered a truck before. And the strategy doesn't end there. By offering an affordable entry-level pickup, Subaru could lock in younger buyers who will stick with the brand for decades. That's something the traditional truck makers are struggling with. Millennials and Gen Z often can't afford $50,000 vehicles. But at $18,000, suddenly a first-time buyer has access to a brand-new truck, not just a beat-up used one. Capture that loyalty early, and Subaru could see a ripple effect across its entire lineup. The truck might also redefine what it means to own a pickup in America. For too long, trucks have been sold as oversized status symbols, loaded with chrome and leather, with prices higher than many luxury cars. Subaru is stripping away that image and bringing pickups back to their roots: affordable, capable, and built for everyday life. If this resonates, we could be witnessing the start of a shift in consumer expectations, one that forces the entire industry to rethink what a truck should be. And this is where the ripple effect could be massive. If Subaru's $18,000 pickup takes off, it won't just shake the US truck market, it could redefine the future of EV pickups as well. Right now, electric trucks like the Rivian R1T, Ford F-150 Lightning, and Tesla Cybertruck are all positioned as premium products, with prices starting well north of $50,000. That leaves a giant gap at the bottom of the market. An opening Subaru might be perfectly positioned to exploit if they roll out an affordable electrified version down the line. Imagine a $25,000 electric Subaru truck with AWD and a modest range tailored for urban and outdoor buyers. That would completely flip the EV pickup segment on its head. Globally, the impact could be even bigger. Markets in South America, Asia, and even parts of Europe crave affordable, compact trucks. Many of these regions never fully embraced oversized pickups because of narrow roads, high fuel costs, and different lifestyle needs. Subaru's global platform strategy means this truck could be adapted for international markets with relatively little re-engineering. If it launches worldwide, it could easily become the modern equivalent of the Toyota Hilux, a no-nonsense truck with universal appeal. But here's the part that really keeps competitors up at night. If Subaru succeeds, they might force everyone else to copy the playbook. Ford could be pressured to drop the Maverick's base price. Toyota, which has been teasing a smaller pickup for years, might be forced to fast-track it. GM could have no choice but to downsize and rethink the Colorado. And Stellantis, which has already been struggling to keep Ram competitive in the EV era, might suddenly find itself caught flat-footed. Even Tesla would feel the heat. The Cybertruck has been marketed as revolutionary, but it's also expensive, polarizing, and not particularly practical for mainstream buyers. Subaru's move exposes a weakness. The EV pickup race has ignored affordability. By grabbing the low end of the market, Subaru could take away future EV buyers before Tesla or Rivian even have a chance to target them. That's a strategic bombshell. And let's not forget, Subaru has an ace up its sleeve: partnerships. Their tie-up with Toyota on hybrid and EV technology means they already have access to scalable electrification tech. That could give Subaru the ability to expand this truck lineup quickly, offering gas, hybrid, and eventually electric variants. It's a layered strategy that ensures the truck isn't just a one-off experiment. It's the foundation of an entirely new product family. Consumer culture is where this truck could spark the most dramatic change. For decades, trucks in America have been sold as symbols of power, size, and status. Automakers made billions convincing buyers they needed massive engines, chrome grilles, and leather-wrapped interiors just to haul groceries or drive to work. But Subaru's $18,000 pickup challenges that narrative head-on. It says, you don't need to overspend to get capability. You don't need a luxury badge to own a truck that fits your life. And that message could resonate with a generation of buyers who are tired of being priced out of the market. If this truck gains traction, it could start to normalize smaller, simpler pickups again. That's something the industry hasn't seen since the compact truck boom of the 1980s and 1990s, when models like the Toyota Tacoma, Nissan Hardbody, and Ford Ranger offered affordable utility for everyday people. Those trucks were legendary for their toughness and accessibility. Subaru seems to be channeling that same energy, but with modern safety tech, better fuel efficiency, and all-wheel drive. In other words, it's nostalgia upgraded for 2025. This cultural shift could also put pressure on the bigger is better philosophy that's dominated U.S. truck sales for years. If buyers begin realizing they don't actually need a $70,000 full-size truck just to carry mulch or take camping gear to the mountains, demand for oversized pickups could slowly erode. That's a terrifying prospect for Detroit's Big Three, because full-size trucks are their cash cows. Lose enough buyers to smaller, more affordable alternatives, and suddenly their entire profit model starts to crumble. Another big cultural shift could come from who actually buys this truck.